Hi everyone, and welcome to the first part of the series of creating my character Marco Max in Toon Boom Harmony. I wanted to show the process I usually go through and why I decided to completely change his design and the comic itself. But I'll talk about that a little bit later in the video. Creating characters for animation can be quite complicated, so I have to start with very basic shapes like circles, etc. because they are just easy to think about it when you are drawing and also when you are animating them. As I draw here, I noticed that something was missing, and it was the eyes, and certainly that's the most important thing you have to think about when designing a character, because everybody will be looking at it, especially when it is animated. Well, the eyes are kind of working at the moment, so I decided that I should move on to the body and designing the basic shapes so I can animate later on. One of the problems I had before with the previous design was that his clothes were way too complicated to animate and were taking way too much time. Not impossible, but way too complicated. So I decided I should go for a simpler shape. You can see me here designing the pants, which are just basically sticks in a kind of Tim Burton stylized samurai jack kind of style. That will be way easier to do and more convincing for a puppet animation. Even though I think that this is starting to work, I still think the more will be needed to change. His shoes are a bit way too complicated at the moment. And also his jacket might be a problem later on because there are way too much complicated shapes and forms that I would surely need to address later on when redesigning the character or finalizing him. As I draw him, you can clearly see that I'm struggling and trying to find the shapes. But I think that's part of the process, and that's what makes it fun to make character designs like this. Here I am trying to design a bag, but struggling with it, and I eventually will give up. But the character will have a bag eventually. A great technique that we use in animation is, or designing in general, is to flip drawings every time you create them. Here I am flipping the head so I can get a better silhouette, and also some sort of breakpoint in the design and the character curves. Here I decided to throw a scarf because it's easier later on that even though the character might be standing still like this, it's always nice to have some sort of flow, and the scarf is perfectly to give some sort of feeling and that the character is alive even though he's not going to be moving that much. A bit of a floor for it to stand on, and we are almost good. But there's something missing in the character that I only noticed later on, but I will let you guys leave it in the comments if you can find it. There's a very important part of his body that it's missing, and I completely forget about it. Thank you again for all of you that stayed this far in the video, and I hope to see you again on the next one where I will be cleaning up the drawing more for character design purposes. It's not for animation yet. But you'll be seeing how I go about defining the lines and finalizing the character for color, which is to be the third part of the series. Catch you guys later on the next video.